It's time to talk about mental health. Last month, we talked about mental health and resiliency skill number one, which was gratitude. This month, we're going to do a quick recap on what resiliency is, why it matters, and then in honor of Christmas and New Year's, I didn't plan this out, it just worked this way. We're going to learn skill number two, which is called values-based goals. Quick side note, this lesson will require more interaction and participation from you. So be prepared to pause the video and do some writing and some journaling. It won't take you long and you will reap what you sow. So grab your favorite notebook, your laptop, whatever you like to write with, and let's jump into it with a couple of pre-game warm-ups before we get into the good stuff. So exercise number one, we're gonna determine what your values are. We're gonna get pretty close. So I want you to look at this list right here of some values, and I want you to think about two things. Which values matter most to you, and which ones do you find yourself naturally using to guide your choices? Pause the video, take as much time as you need. The hard part may be narrowing it down to just 2 or 3. That's what was hard for me, but get it down to 2 or 3. Okay, now that you're done with that, one more pregame exercise. I want you to answer 2 more questions. Now that you've got your values, think about a time those values were most important to you, and in a few sentences, describe why those values are important to you. Pause the video, take all the time you need. Okay, now let's do a quick recap of what resiliency is and why it matters. What is it? Well, it's the ability to perform well in the face of stress or change, and it's the ability to successfully adapt and recover after stress or change. So I like to think of a plate of glass on the ground and a thick rubber mat on the ground. And I think of life's challenges and stresses as a 1-pound steel ball bearing. And when life hits the glass plate, it does not perform well in the face of stress and change. It also does not successfully adapt and recover after that stress. When it comes to the thick rubber mat, life can hit, but there may be a little sign that something happened, but for the most part, it performs well in the face of that stress and it successfully adapts and recovers. We want to be like the rubber mat. I'm somewhere in between, you are too. Let's try to get more resilient and be more mentally healthy. Why does resiliency matter? To be more specific, you'll be more mentally healthy, but here's some very specific benefits that are tied to mental health. Things that resiliency improves or increases. It improves our ability to navigate change. It improves our communication. It improves our teamwork. It improves our decision-making ability. It improves our sleep. It improves our immune function. That is a short list of things that resiliency increases. And here's a short list of things it decreases. Cynicism, pessimism, stress, burnout, even decreases your blood pressure. All right, so that's why it matters and how it can be helpful. Let's talk about skill number 2, values-based goals. What are values-based goals? Well, they're goals that are values-based and that are meaningful to you. These will provide you a sense of purpose and meaning. They'll ensure that you're pursuing your goals, not the expectations of others, and they help us prioritize what's important. That's what we mean when we say values-based goals. So, time for 2 more exercises. Time to do some more writing. I want you to think about something and answer 3 questions. I want you to imagine your life in the future. What is the best possible life you can imagine? What do you stand for? What does the future look like? Be specific and focus on the life you want to live, not on material things. Pause the video and take all the time you need to answer those 3 questions. All right, now that you're done with that, 2 more follow-on questions to those answers you just provided. 2 things. What values did you just mention in your description, in your best life? Also, second question, what challenges did you have thinking about your best possible life? Pause the video, take all the time you need. Okay, some key takeaways from what we just did there. Your goals should align with your values. Something to think about. Values are the key to making progress towards your best possible self. And finally, values-based goals ensure you take action to live those values every day. So let's take this full circle and chart a course for living your values and your values-based goals. Here we go. Last 2 exercises. I told you it'd be more interactive. You got to do some writing. I want you to answer 3 questions. If you're going to live out your values-based goals in a life that's meaningful to you, tell me what you're going to do to take steps towards that in the next 24 hours, in the next 2 weeks, and the next 3 months. Pause the video. Take as much time as you need. Okay, now that you're done with that, final 2 questions. When you're thinking about what you're going to do in the next day, 2 weeks, and 3 months to live out your best possible life, what obstacles might you encounter? And how will you overcome them? Pause the video, take as much time as you need. All right, you've done all the legwork, all the participation, all the interaction we got to do today. Let's wrap it up and head home with this. Science says that you should revisit your progress weekly. Whatever you just got done journaling about and writing down, revisit your progress weekly to see how you're doing with that 24-hour goal, with that 2-week goal, with that 3-month goal. Also, you can modify your values and your plans and your values-based goals as needed, as you notice that you're changing. And that's what the science says. Quick recap. What did we just do? We defined your values and what you stand for. You're living your values by charting a course, what you're going to do in the next 24 hours, 2 weeks, and 3 months. You've charted a course. You've got a plan for overcoming challenges that might pop up to stop your best possible life. And you're going to revisit that plan and chart and check your progress. Check your progress weekly and revisit your plan as needed. Boom. Values-based goals. I applaud you guys for going through this video. Mental health is not a comfortable topic, but it's something we could all improve on. And I know values-based goals is a skill we could all improve on. You are several steps closer to living your best possible life. So practice that skill. You'll get better at charting your course and living your life and your values-based goals, which will make you more resilient, which will make you more mentally healthy. If you know somebody that could benefit from this video, especially during the winter, now that depression is even worse than normal, please share this video with them. What else can I say? I feel like I'm leaving something out, but that's it for now. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Go practice, go train, and live a life that is meaningful to you. Hey guys, quick follow-on video here. I left out just a few things. So I wanted to say, if you wouldn't mind sharing, I'd love to hear your top 2 or 3 values that you've narrowed it down to. I'd also love to hear the answers to any of the other questions. I know from teaching this class earlier this month, Some folks aren't comfortable with sharing what their goals are and their values, but whatever you're comfortable with sharing, I love seeing how different people think, what their values are, what their perspectives are. So anything you're willing to share, please put down in the comments. And lastly, as I mentioned, it's wintertime, depression's on the rise. So I just wanted to say, if you're struggling with depression, suicidal thoughts, or any other mental health situation, I encourage you to immediately reach out to someone you trust, or you can dial the new relatively new national crisis hotline at 988, and they can get you in touch with professional help that you need. The sooner you reach out, the sooner you will get healthy, but you've got to take the first step.